Hello and welcome to this Astro Mindfulness exercise with the Decan of Aquarius 3. This is a timeless recording and it's meant for you to return to any time that you need it. If you have placements in the Decan of Aquarius 3, or if Saturn is your Lord of the Year or your ruler of your solar return, or if you've got a significant transit. For example, I'm recording it at the time of a solar eclipse in this Decan. Astro Mindfulness is the practice of entering astrology as lived experience rather than analysing and discussing astrology. We inhabit the landscape of a decan, which is a 10-degree division of a sign, so that each sign has 3 decans, the first, second and third, as each sign has 30 degrees. They all have their own stories, deities and history. And they have their own rulers. For Aquarius 3, it's the Moon and Venus. And I use the inspiration of the associated tarot card, the Seven of Swords. The descriptions of this decan is the knot, bonds, entangled thoughts, and the sign ruler Saturn with the decan rulers Moon and Venus to design this Astro Mindfulness for you. And so we can allow the planetary intelligence to move through us, through our breath, our body, and our awareness. You can return to this meditation whenever you're navigating questions of trust, emotional safety, abundance, longing, or strategic communication. Aquarius 3 is asking us to hold perspective without freezing the heart, to deal with multiple threads of thoughts, to realize that the overwhelm of all these thoughts can sometimes lead us not to take action, and that in itself is a decision. And this is a decan of those connections that we choose, sometimes ones that we've inherited or that others have chosen for us. And when the sun and the moon are travelling through this decan, they show light on this for us, and we're asked to re-examine those bonds, those knots that we're entangled in, to decide if those connections are truly for us, to decide if we truly choose those connections again. So before we start, I invite you to settle yourself comfortably. You might decide to sit, lie down, or some people even like to walk as they meditate. You may wish to close your eyes, or some people prefer to just rest their gaze gently downwards. If you're sitting, be aware of the connection of your feet with the floor or the earth beneath you. As you sit upright, allow the spine to lengthen naturally. Bring your awareness to your chest as you breathe. Maybe it rises and falls. And bring the awareness to the breath that moves in and out of your body. Notice each inhalation through your nose. And notice each exhalation through your mouth. As you breathe out, see if you can release any tension that you're holding in your day, your week, your month. You don't need to carry it with you anymore. And feel your body soften as you release this tension. Where have you been holding it? Maybe in your jaw, your shoulders, in your stomach. Can you feel them relax as you release this tension? You return your attention to your breathing. When the breath has entered your body, is there any one place that you notice the sensation of the breath making connection with your body more than any other place? Maybe it's at the tip of your nose, back of your throat, the top of your chest or your heart center. Maybe it's deeper into your lungs, your diaphragm or your stomach. Doesn't matter where this place is, just bring your full attention to this place And focus on breathing into this place now. And then allow yourself to breathe out from this place. Notice as the breath travels through this place. In mindfulness, we call this place your mindful anchor. And the more you practice breathing into this place and breathing out, the more your mindful anchor will be there to support you. Your body will know what to do. You can take a moment to breathe into your mindful anchor at any time when you need to, during your normal days, where you need to just take a moment to detach from any situation that you're in, to know that you're safe within your body, that you can observe events, that you are grounded, bringing you back to yourself. And now, if you feel ready, please join me in a visualization. You find yourself in a valley at the base of a mountain path. You catch snatches of conversation and activity. There's a buzz of expectation. You recognize it going on around you, to the side of you. This is the world of social exchange, messages, assumptions, emotional cross currents meeting and separating. This is not why you're here. You focus on the path ahead of you and begin to climb. How does the air feel to you as you're climbing? You find the path steady and you can climb easily. Maybe you notice a cooling in the air. It's slight as you rise. Do you notice the noise with each step upwards? That noise, that activity softens, blurs. Buzz and the urgency loses its grip on you. It's fading. You feel that this is Saturn's invitation. You're being asked for some effort and discipline here. And you are gaining perspective. As you climb and gain a new view, you reflect on some questions that come into your mind. What situations in your own life are feeling mentally crowded right now? Where have you absorbed more than is yours to carry? Answers may come now or they may come later, and that's okay. You continue your climb upwards, and you feel lighter and more energized with every step. Eventually, you summit before you even realize it. You know you're breathing heavier, but you're not out of breath as you might have expected. You realize that there might have been some help to climb that path. You find yourself on a wide stone platform. It's built securely into the mountain's peak, but it's simple, very solid. You feel safe here. It's a place of reflection. As you move onto the platform and take in the view and the vistas beneath you, you feel its solidness and firmness, even at this great height. Can you engage all your senses to take in the quality of the air? Does any noise still reach you from below? Or maybe above? You can still see the valley below you. You can see roads connecting villages. You're now aware of patterns that were invisible when you were on the ground. And it occurs to you that thoughts are being clarified by this distance. You continue to breathe and connect with your mindful anchor. And as you do, you reflect on how you see these interconnections of the roads and the villages, and how that also relates to conversations and human interactions, how misunderstandings can form, how expectations can be entangled. And from this, maybe a realization emerges. Not every truth must be spoken immediately. Not every plan has to be fully revealed. And reflect on where silence might serve you better than explanation. Where in your life requires discernment before disclosure? As you think on these, you still are looking around the platform that you find yourself on. Noticing the railing encircling the platform. Reflect on how it's protective, while at the same time there's a restriction, a boundary, and yet how it is essential. You feel Saturn's presence at this height. Saturn's reminding you that sometimes distance is necessary, and it brings clarity, makes you think. Where do you need stronger mental boundaries? And what conversations require preparation rather than reaction? As you think on those, you reflect on the stability that's still beneath your feet. Even though you've climbed so high, you're still safely grounded into this stone that's come from the earth. As you reflect on this, standing in the open air, you notice something else that's very subtle. How much clearer your thoughts are, but also how your emotions are still there. A layer of nuance underneath, moving like weather does across the sky, like clouds forming, dissolving, creating shapes and patterns, ever changing. Maybe there is a sadness beneath your independence, or a relief beneath your distance, or there could be a longing beneath your strategy. You feel closer to the moon at this height, and you feel her gentle presence. Maybe you can visualize an image, or just breathe in the idea of the moon and ask yourself gently, what emotion have you been protecting when you stay in your head and with your thoughts? Allow an answer to surface, don't analyze, just acknowledge it. When we're asking about our emotions, we don't need to think of an answer. We're all human. And sometimes we don't like to admit to the full range of emotions. Maybe an answer will come to you later if it hasn't. But keep looking at the view, and maybe you notice that certain places in the valley are drawing your attention. You might see homes glowing with warmth, or maybe familiar paths that you recognize. But you might see figures moving in ways that feel familiar to you. And this is starting to bring some pieces in your mind together. A realization of something significant. You're beginning to understand that you do not belong everywhere. You're allowed to belong selectively. Venus in this decan of Aquarius 3 is teaching you that love can thrive in spaciousness, that connection can be strongest when it's chosen consciously. Venus here is asking you, who has earned access to your private, personal, inner world? She asks, where can you both be independent and deeply connected? She wants you to notice how your body responds to those who feel safe, not just the thoughts in your head. And maybe as you're reflecting on these questions, you feel a warmth in your chest that begins to spread as Venus shares this message with you. You've carried a backpack with you up on the platform. You rest now and look inside it. You find a notebook of ideas and plans that you haven't yet shared with anybody. They're not public. There's feelings there that have been noted but not yet voiced. These are the thoughts of your inner world. You've kept them hidden in that backpack and you haven't examined them even by yourself. It's time now, as you're up here, unobserved. The time is right. The time is now. You're ready now to open it and examine its contents. What do you find in here? Is there anything that surprises you? Maybe the timing isn't quite right yet. You realize that discretion is an act of self-respect. As you flick through the notebook, you notice a question arising. What part of you needs more time before being fully revealed? And where does thoughtful restraint protect something far more precious? It might be that this notebook needs to go back in your backpack and stay safely as a product of your inner world. But is there something there that you're ready to bring out into the world? Only you can know. When you are ready, you step back from the platform and find your way to the path to begin descending the mountain. As you do, you feel the valley noise gradually returning. It feels different now. It's less invasive, more a part of your world. You don't have to entangle yourself in every thread of it. You can choose where to step in, where to pick up a thread, and for how long. With each step downwards, insight is settling into your mind and your muscles. and you notice perspective becoming embodied. And as you continue down the path, you breathe in as insight settles into your mind and muscles, and perspective becomes embodied. And you breathe out, knowing you are not entangled in every thread. You can choose where to step in now. You breathe in as insight settles into your mind and muscles, and perspective becomes embodied. And you breathe out, knowing you are not entangled in every thread. You can choose now where to step in. You breathe in as insight settles into your mind and your muscles, and perspective becomes embodied. And you breathe out, knowing you are not entangled in every thread. You can choose now where to step in. The mountain is softening as you're returning back to the bottom of the path. Your awareness is fully returned to your breath. You can feel Saturn in your spine, holding you upright, contained and steady. You feel the moon in your chest. In your mind, emotion is acknowledged without overwhelm. You feel Venus in your heart, connection chosen wisely. You feel the air element in your lungs. Thoughts are circulating freely without trapping you. Do you notice that shift that you've made? There's less mental noise. You've gained discernment and emotional safety. Continue to breathe into your mindful anchor, knowing that you can observe before you respond. You can breathe into your mindful anchor. You can protect your notebook, those inner thoughts, and be discerning about when and how to share them. You can belong without entangling and losing yourself. When you're ready, you're going to return to the room that you're in. Become aware of the noises around you, the sensations, the temperature. You're going to gently open your eyes. Stretch out your arms and wiggle your fingers. Stretch your legs, move your toes. I hope you find that really useful. Carry the clarity of this mountain with you to move through life without detaching from it, with intelligence and care.